Oprah just exposed Tom Hanks along with the rest of the elites for their shady role in the Maui fires, and boy is it a story for the books. We all know about the devastating wildfires that took place recently in Maui and claimed the lives of hundreds of people. The fires burnt buildings to the ground and left thousands of people homeless. But one group of people who were unaffected by all this was the elites of Hollywood who owned land and vacation homes on the island. Now people are saying that it might have been the same elites who set fire to the island's expensive neighborhoods in order to snatch the land of the natives that they have been protecting for centuries. This theory is gaining a lot of popularity, and after everything that Oprah said, people are convinced that there's something more sinister going on and the fires might not have been due to natural causes like it was earlier claimed. You are watching Celebrity Circle, and today we are going to be talking about how Tom Hanks is panicking after Oprah exposed his shady role in the Maui fires, along with the other elites. But before we get to talking about all of that, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future uploads.
Entire families who've lost every single thing they have, and they're living on the air mattress and a cot and a chair.
Now first, let us tell you what the authorities are saying caused the wildfires. According to the authorities, the wildfires were caused by the winds carried by Hurricane Dora combined with the drought conditions on the island. Maui has always been at risk of wildfires, but there is just something off about these ones. Now we just want to proceed by saying that we do not support making conspiracy theories about such tragedies, as it could be insensitive to the people affected by the wildfires. This is just the word on the street, and we are reporting everything as it is. Even residents of the island seem to be confused about the whole situation and think there might be something more sinister at play here. One of the things that adds to this theory is the fact that the warnings for the wildfires weren't given in the right way. Usually they are given in due time, but this time they seem rushed and at the last minute, which made it harder for people to escape. The unfortunate mess-up in timing claimed the lives of several hundred people. Not only that, but this also meant that people could not carry any of their belongings from their homes as they escaped. This meant that they could either save their lives or save their homes, and obviously, they ran for their lives. The situation was so bad that according to the accounts of two teenage boys and their mother, they jumped into the ocean to save their lives. But not everyone was so lucky, and many were either killed by the heat and ashes or the debris.
I think it's Jan will believe it.
Yes, he will.
Yeah, he will, yeah.
One neighborhood that was affected the most was Lahaina. Lahaina is a very popular and expensive neighborhood in Maui, one that has been inhabited by locals and indigenous people for centuries. The properties on this land cost billions of dollars, which is where the theory starts. Some people think that these wildfires were created intentionally by people who wanted to snatch the land from these locals. You see, property investors and Hollywood elites have been trying for years to buy properties in this neighborhood, but the locals were never interested in selling.
And I just want to remind all you real estate investors around the world, like, Lahaina is not for sale.
For one, there is a drastic housing shortage in Maui. And secondly, they have lived in this neighborhood for centuries and wanted to keep it that way. But you guys know how the elites are. When they want something, they would go to any lengths in order to get it. So some people think that it was the elites who set these fires just so the locals would be forced into selling their land, especially now that they are homeless. There is a lot to back up this theory as well, and we are going to talk all about it. One such thing is the fact that a lot of Hollywood elites own homes close to Lahaina. Elites like Tom Hanks and Oprah Winfrey. But before we tell you all about that, make sure to share this video with a friend who might enjoy our content, and give this video a big thumbs up while you're at it too. Now, Oprah has owned that property for almost 15 years, and she recently bought another property on the island for over $6 million. Tom Hanks also owns a bunch of properties on the island worth millions of dollars. People are really starting to wonder why these rich people aren't speaking up more about the damage that the wildfires have done. And the reason behind that is that they all were behind the wildfires. According to People, some secret weapons were used to set fire to the area, which consumed the whole neighborhood. People keep urging these rich people to give away their land to the affected families, since they are the locals of the area and deserve it, especially in these trying times. But despite the urges from the public, none of these Hollywood elites have said anything. Oprah, in her typical fashion, flew to Hawaii to help the affected families and donate. She said that she was planning on making a sizable donation for the reconstruction of the neighborhood once all the ash settled down and once they had a plan of how the neighborhood was going to look like. Other than that, she was also seen helping people settle in their temporary homes, where these families are forced to sleep on air mattresses with other families.
At some point, I will make a major donation after all of the smoke and ashes have settled here and we figure out what the rebuilding is going to look like. This is going to be a long and difficult process.
People are saying that the only reason she went there and pretended to help all those people out is so that people don't get suspicious of her. Do you think that might be the case? Let us know in the comment section below. But why would the elites want to burn Lahaina down to the ground like that? Well, the answer is simple. It's an investment. Once the people who were never willing to sell their homes were homeless, they would be forced to sell their land. Not only that, but they would sell their land for cheaper out of desperation. So these elites and real estate investors would buy this land and later sell it for tenfold the original price, because Lahaina is an extremely expensive neighborhood. And these investors know that during a housing crisis, people would pay anything to become homeowners again.
Lahaina Front Street is worth billions. The Hawaiians that have been holding out and the Kanaka have been holding out for years, not wanting to sell their property.
There is one more theory that sounds even more sinister. According to some conspiracy theorists, this wildfire was a sacrifice made by the elites. Yup, you heard that right. As insane as it sounds, some people think that all the people who were killed were a part of the sacrifice that the elites made for fame and fortune, and that is exactly why they have been awfully quiet during all of this.
So I went around back to Front Street, and all the cars were lined up, but none of them were moving. And I walked all the way from Safeway to the Chart House. Not one car had moved. And I was wondering what was stopping the traffic. And I got to the end and I looked up, there were no obstructions. There was no reason to keep those cars. And I said, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm under orders to keep them here. And I said, the fire is right around Safeway. It's going to hit Front Street. You know, these people got to get out of here. And he said, I'm following orders.
No way.
And so I just kept walking. Well, maybe he knows something I don't, you know. So, and I keep walking down the highway, and I look behind, no cars are coming out. Still no cars coming out. And I started hearing boom, boom, boom.
And we all know how shady the elites are and how often they are known to make such sacrifices for their own sake. And even though this sounds a little far-fetched, we wouldn't put anything past them, would you? With all of that said, we still urge you all to try and be sensitive about this topic and not to come up with conspiracy theories that could be insensitive to the affected families of the wildfires. Remember them in your thoughts and prayers. We all hope they recover from this tragedy as soon as possible.
And there goes the house I lived in for a month.
And that was all we had time for in today's video. Do you think Tom Hanks and the elites were behind all of this? Why do you think they did it? Let us know all about it in the comment section below. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it and hit that subscribe button for more videos like this one in the future. And with all that said, as always, we will see you in our next video.